Hi everyone. Good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. Did you miss me? I was gone for a few days and it was a little bit unintentional. I don't know what happened to me yesterday, but for some reason I couldn't access my Facebook account. And I don't think I was in jail, Facebook jail. I think I was just, I don't know, in limbo somewhere, but I missed everyone. Good morning, Sydney. Good morning. So I spent like most of the weekend, probably like a lot of you, just kind of thinking about the fact that we've got a whole month still at least ahead of us to do this stuff at home. Oh, awesome. So glad, Sydney. Yeah, I'm still working on mine. I've been having a bit of trouble with my sewing machine. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. Oh, everybody's talking to me this morning. The dogs are all, hello, pay attention to me. And so I don't know what you guys have been doing, but I've been doing a lot of cleaning, cooking, and sort of taking stock of what I already have because I don't want to go out. And I know they say it's safe to go outside, but I've kind of developed a little bit of, I don't know, situational agoraphobia or something. I don't know. But it's been, 18 days since I have been in self-isolation. And I checked and I think I'm on day 13 since I've purchased any groceries. Hold on, I gotta let the dog out. So it's been almost 2 weeks since I went to the grocery store or gone to any store for that matter. I'm not a huge online shopper. I don't know about you guys. I've never been. Hi, Amy. Whoop, cat. Everybody's visiting me this morning. The cat. Can you see his feet? Hi, Frank. Frankie, come here. Good boy. Hi. Hello. You're already a homebody. I know the craft stores. Yeah, I'm used to going to a craft store at least one. Whoa, the cat. Sorry. I'm used to I have a very scheduled life normally. And sorry, the cat keeps hitting the mic, the camera, my phone. He wants to be patted. Come here, Frank. Frankie, come here. Stop. Frank, he's causing havoc. But yeah, it's kind of been weird, even though I am already a homebody, Sydney, like you. It's weird when it's like going on a diet and they tell you you can't eat white bread and all you want is white bread, right? That's how I feel. Like it's like somebody's telling you, no, you can't do it. And that's why you just have this urge to do it. So I just, I'm just trying to keep myself occupied and sane. I've got a 14-year-old here he's trying to do the homeschool thing, but it's kind of a weird situation. He's never really had homework, because he goes to a special school and so this is a big step for him. So trying to keep him sort of sane. And then the dogs have no idea, what's going on. Why is the boy home? And, why are you kind of hanging out? Why aren't you going out for going groceries? Yeah, like stir crazy, like cabin fever or something like that. But I'm going to flip the switch because I feel like we need to think of this as in 20 years when we're talking about this time, what fun things will we reminisce about? Because I remember when I'm an old lady, so I grew up, I was a kid though, in the blizzard of 78, which was a huge blizzard. One of those, it made the record books here in New England and all across the eastern seaboard, and people died, and, it was just terrible. Good morning, Andrea. And so, but now looking back on it, 1978, so that was like, whatever, 40 something years ago, 42 years ago, I look back at it and I remember like what fun we had. And I remember we didn't have a big pantry in our house. We would do our shopping once a week, and we didn't have food delivery. We didn't have any of that. And we did okay. And the thing that was different about the 78 blizzard was, even though it was only for like 2 weeks, we were not allowed to even go in our car anywhere. You could walk places, but you couldn't go in your car because they just didn't have the snow removal services, and they shut the whole state down and everything. So we kind of made do. And I remember my mom like pulling out the old recipe cards and making the weirdest things. Like she made donuts and like real donuts, and taught us all these really funny little things. Hi, Melanie. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. So I don't know. So 40 years later, I remember that time fondly, because it was just like, it was one of those, everybody was in the same boat, and we just couldn't, there was nothing that we could do but survive and use our creative energies to come up with ways to stay sane and to live. And we made it through. And that's the thing about this, is we're going to make it through. We just have to stick. Yeah, and we have technology. We can order things online. Andrea's saying, in some ways we're better without technology. Oh, yes, true, Andrea. When we're put to our own devices, when we can't just easily get something at the store. And this is what I wanted to talk about today, is that I was going through yesterday, because I was kind of locked out of Facebook. I started cleaning my craft worm. Oh, I know it's hard, Amy. Amy's saying she has an autistic son. It's hard for him to understand what is happening, why he isn't working. And my husband went back today. Oh, okay. Amy, how old is your son? Okay, dog. Is he young? Is he young, Amy? It's hard, I know. My son, he's at that age, he's 14. So he's at that age where he's like, he likes to catastrophize everything, like, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end. Oh, it's doomsday preppers. And I'm like, I counter that with humor, and I tell him, oh, we're going to have to eat the guinea pigs and maybe the cat too, and I don't know, the dogs, and he laughs, and then he makes it kind of like he realizes how silly he's being. And I can just say, see, it's not that bad. I mean, we have it pretty good, and we are creative. That's the thing, is we were created to be creative people, and we can learn to adapt. That is the one thing that's really cool. Oh, this dog is going to be the death of me, let me tell you. That's one thing that's really cool about being, here we go. So one thing that's being really cool about being human is that we can be creative with things. And this morning I saw a whole family singing a song, a parody song from Les Mis about the quarantine. And then I saw somebody who was doing some really extraordinary things with sort of like domino effect kind of things, physics. And so I started thinking about all the different things that we could do given the circumstances. And of course, a lot of us are crafting, but sometimes we get to a place where, are they really? Long Island, New York. Andrea's kids are, boys are 9 and 12, and they've got a lot of homework. You know what, Andrea? Good morning, Charlene. Andrea, like my son, you're trying to work from home, Andrea? Oh, good morning, Charlene. Good morning. Welcome. Yeah, it's hard to work from home, isn't it? It's so difficult because there's so many distractions. And then I think one of the things we don't realize about working at an office is there aren't all of these home distractions like let the dog in, let the dog out, feed the cat, feed the this, clean this. You see something you need to clean. Okay, and so your granddaughter, Maria's saying she's got 4- and 7-year-old granddaughters. Yeah, it's hard. And, oh, yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful, Maria. Her 4- and 7-year-old granddaughters don't understand. They think everyone is sick at the same time. And that's why they have to stay home. And they pray for everyone. Lovely. Oh, I love it. It's good that they know how to pray too at 4 and 7. That's awesome. Yeah, it's hard because we have these kids and they don't understand it, and we don't understand it. We're adults and we don't understand it, and we're scared. And so we're having these sort of ways of trying, like when somebody said to me a couple days ago, why are you so calm? And I started thinking about it, and it's like, you know what? I'm calm because, and I'm trying to stay lighthearted because of my son and my family, because I think if I started getting all like crazy, they'd get crazy. It's sort of like when I was a kid, my mom would say about our dog is that, the dog responds to your energy. If you're happy, the dog's happy. And if you're sad, the dog's sad. And so I think of it that way, is if I start going around going, the sky is falling, then I will end up with a whole family, a whole household thinking that the sky is falling. And so I try to just kind of keep it in the day and keep it, and especially with this dog here, let me go get up and get him again. Come on, you guys. Come on. Come in the house. Stop barking, please. Thank you. Okay, no. Stop barking, okay? So anyway, back to we have to stay calm and realize, it's just one day at a time. There's nothing you can control about the outside situation. Everything can be controlled about your inside situation, about your home, about the way you're viewing it, the way you're processing it, and the way that you're responding to people in your family. And I'm really concerned about the emotional and psychological effects of people. So one of the things that I've known for a long time is that creativity really stimulates the brain. My hands have to be working. I have a hard time just sitting and watching something. And so, I was cleaning out my craft room and I was thinking, I'm going to make some more cards. I'm going to also be doing some sewing. I've been doing that for a while now. But I'm running out of some supplies or choice supplies. Same thing with food. I have food that's edible. It maybe isn't preferred food, things that I would get every week at the grocery store. But, I have to believe that there's some reason why I bought those crushed tomatoes with green chilies, or the artichoke hearts in olive oil, or what else? Sliced bamboo shoots, yep, and whole water chestnuts. So Sydney's saying she needs to do something. So you need your crafts, and you need to start being creative about things. Don't just, log on to Facebook and just kind of scroll and get all excited and overwhelmed and all of that. Let's do some crafts. So today I thought that I would do it's a repeat, but it's sort of important because I think a lot of people ask me this question. It's about cards and card making. And a lot of us have these joys, but we also have the be other machines as well. But one of the things that was really exciting about the Joy launch was that they came out with these things called insert cards, and there are these packs of cards, and they're really awesome, you know. And yes, you can still order them online, but what happens when something's delayed and you can't really, you know, you can't get it and you want to do it right away? Can you make something in the meantime? And that's, you know, just so you know, these packs have these pre-folded cards, and this is called an A2 card, and it's just simply a piece of cardstock that's folded, and it's cut from an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I wanted to show you how to make this yourself, and then also included are these, which are the inserts, which are slightly smaller. I'm going to show you how to make those too. And that way, if you run out of things, you know, things like this, like pre-made cards, you can make your own. You can make your own. And so you can keep crafting. And I think a lot of people don't kind of realize this. But okay, so let's just talk about page sizes. Or you haven't used that Joy yet, Melanie? You've got to rip that thing out. Come on. We've got to get going on that Joy. I love my Joy. I really do. I was talking to Tamara in the Netherlands over, let's see, was it Sunday night? We had a Zoom call, and she was saying that she really loves hers, but it's hard in the Netherlands, not just during this time, but it's just hard for her to get supplies. It's not the same as in the United States. So here's another reason to learn to make your own types of things as well. So, okay, so let's just talk about paper. Paper comes in basically two sizes. I mean, you can sometimes find different sizes, but basically it comes in 8.5 by 11. Someday, Amy, you know, Amy's saying, you know, she hasn't got the Joy yet. That's okay. And some of us have different machines. Some of us don't have a machine at all, and that's fine too. Okay, so let's talk about paper. So paper comes in these two sizes. These are standard sizes. This is 12 by 12. And if you have another machine, you know that this goes on a mat that goes into the Explorer and the Maker, and that's the standard size for those machines. And then we have paper that comes in 8.5 by 11, and this is cardstock. I call it paper. It's cardstock. It's kind of thicker, but it's just, you know, I call it paper because I don't know, it's easier that way. So I'm going to show you how to cut the different pieces of paper. So the 8.5 by 11 is, remember, it's 8.5 inches this way, right? And 11 inches this way. And what's really interesting, and you have to kind of wrap your head around this concept, is if you cut this in half, exactly in half, you'll actually get two A2 size cards. And let me show you how I do that. So I'm going to cut it the long way. So 5.5, right? And I'm using this cutter. You don't have to use it's a Cricut cutter. You don't have to use a Cricut cutter. There's others out there. And if you don't have a cutter, you could always use like an X-Acto or the True Control knife with a ruler, but I use my cutter. I like my cutter, and it cuts really well. So I'm taking an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I'm cutting it in half the long way. And so here I have two pieces of cardstock, and all I have to do to make this card, the insert card, is to fold it like this. Now, if you want to create that crease, you can use something like this. This is the scraper. You can use anything, really. You could use the side of like a knife, the back side of a knife. You can use whatever you have. Just find something that works for you. And I'm just going to show you. So here is our insert card. And here is our made card. Exactly the same size. Opens up just like this. and voila, you have cards. And this is a basic size. So this is very easy to replicate, and you can do with 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. You can also do this with a 12 by 12. Okay. But what I do with a 12 by 12 is I make it 8.5 by 11. So first I trim off this inch on this end. And I keep it. Yep, I keep it. So don't worry about that. I keep all my scraps. And then I'm doing 11 by 8.5. So these are my scraps. I'm going to keep that. And so now I have an 8.5 by 11 out of my 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Same thing with this. We're going to just go half on that. 5.5. Voila, we have our two pieces, which we fold, and we can just kind of give it a, just make that fold nice. And we have our A2 size card, same size, okay? Now, let's see, what about the insert card, the insert cards, the part that goes in the back of the card? They're slightly smaller, okay? They're slightly smaller. So these A2 cards are 4 1/4 by 5.5. That's what we get when we take an 8.5 by 11 and cut it in half and then fold each piece. Is a 4, let's show you here, 4.25 by 5.5, exactly. But the actual insert cards are slightly smaller. I'm going to hold it up, okay? So see how it's slightly smaller? That's because we want it to go in the tabs when we cut them for the Joy cards. So we need it to be slightly smaller, and then once we get this cut on the Joy, we would put them in the tabs and it would show through where it cut out. So to make this insert, you start with, I start with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, because 12 by 12 is what I usually have in some of the fancier looking paper. So I have this here. This is holographic. This is beautiful, like lavender glitter. Look at this really thick black glitter. And then this is sparkle paper. It's called sparkle paper. That's by Cricut. So what we want to do is we want to take a 12 by 12 sheet. Now we're making the inserts, remember? So we're going to take it and we're going to make inserts. So just to show you on this, the insert cards are 5 1/4 by 4, exactly. So 5 1/4 by 4. So the easy way to make insert cards, and you'll get 6 out of one sheet of 12 by 12, is first we're going to cut into 3 strips of 4 inches. So here I am. I'm just lining it up on the 4-inch side and making 2 cuts. So now I have a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that's been cut into 4-inch strips, okay? And then I'm going to take each strip and I am going to cut it at 5 1/4. There's once, there's twice. Now, there is a little piece left over. You can save that in your scrap pile. So now I have 2 inserts. Let me show you. Exactly the same size as the insert card. Good morning, Lori Jo. Amanda's been remodeling your bedroom. That's awesome. I wish I had remodeling skills. I do not. So I just decorate. I'm a decorator. So again, these 4-inch sheets are 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So we cut that 12 by 12 sheet into 4-inch strips. And then we take each strip and do 5 1/4. Here we go. So now we have 6 insert cards, and we have enough to make 6 cards. And if we had 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11, we could make 6 cards. And we only used 4 sheets of paper to make 6 cards. I mean, I think that's pretty frugal, and also it's pretty inventive, creative way to do this sort of thing. And then we can just go ahead and use our Cricut Joy. If you're not a Cricut Joy owner yet and you want to still use this technique, you can. What I would do is I would actually cut out from my full 8.5 by 11. I would use my maker to cut out this size. So I would keep it at the 5.5 inch right across, and then 8.5 inches long. So let me show you that. So here's my 1 inch. So here is, wait, there we go. There we go. Wait, 8.5 by 5.5. So you can cut on your maker with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be 12 by 12. A lot of people think that you have to start with 12 by 12 because the mat's 12 by 12, but nope, you can use smaller pieces on the maker, and you can still use this technique on the maker to make cards, or your Explore or your Explore Air or any of those Explore family machines. So that is how to use what you have when we're stuck in this very unique situation and we, have no other choice. We don't really, have any other choice. Now I wanted to tell you, since today is the last day of the month and I've been a little slack in the giveaways, and I'm going to start a whole new giveaway tomorrow, I guess. I have to pick that out today. It's got to be on my to-do list. So I'm flipping through my notebook here, and I wanted to mention all of the winners for March. They were picked throughout the month, but I didn't announce them, so I wanted to announce them all. And that way, and I will put it in like written form as well, but I wanted to congratulate Maria Garena from Louisville, Texas, Sydney Johnson from Bourbonnais, Illinois, Jewel Turner from New London, Connecticut, Gail Greeley from Fairmont, Minnesota, Wendy Casper from Brainerd, Minnesota, 2 Minnesotas, Roxanne Wetmore, another Connecticut, Torrington, Connecticut, Eva Joyner from San Antonio, Texas, Lori Jo Carroll from Schenectady, New York, Charlene Wise from Cuba, New York. Isn't that a great name? Cuba, New York. And Darlene Calamayan. Now, she won off of the YouTube video. She is in Hawaii. And then we have like a 11th, I'm going to send it straight from my house, Dolby O'Callahan. She is in Surrey, England, and I'm going to be sending her something special because normally we don't do the giveaways for outside of the US or Canada. So those are all of our winners for March. And I said it right, Sydney. Yay! And so, well, wait, are you in Schenectady? Because, no, Bourbonnais. Yeah, that's not how the French would pronounce it, I don't think, but that's okay because we're in America. So those are our winners for the month of March. I will post them as well. And then I'm going to try to change things up. I was thinking that we should do some infusible ink giveaways for April. I think that would be fun. Hi, Maria. Looking forward to receiving that wonderful gift. Yes. And I'm sorry for the delay, everyone. It's just been a really crazy month. But you'll be getting them. I'm going to send them off to Cricut today, and I know they're processing very quickly, and they're still working very well there over at Cricut. And I thank Cricut for providing me with the prizes. They're able to provide me with so many prizes a month, and that's what we did. We did 10 $50 prizes. We did some that were for the maker and some that were for the Joy, and it was kind of an even split. Like, a lot of people wanted maker, and then the other half wanted Joy, and that's fine. And that's what we're doing. We're doing all machines because all Cricut machines are awesome. So congratulations to you all. And we were going to see you again really soon. I'm coming back tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm kind of playing it, close to the vest here. I know we talked about doing some flowers, so I'm going to try to come up with some flowers. I was thinking about that 3D rose that I really, really like, and I was thinking about putting it on top of a box. So I think that I will show you that tomorrow because that will be fun. So, all right, everyone, you make good use of your time. Stay indoors or stay in. Try to maintain that social distancing. We will make it through. We will make it through. So don't worry. We're going to do this, okay? We're alone. Yeah, but we're together. Thank you. Thanks, Maria. Have a great day, everyone.